A new season of GNCC has arrived. Walker Fowler sets his sights on an 8th consecutive championship. But a healthy core group of XC1 riders look to contend. Who's going to take the first win of the season here at round 1? GNCC on MAV-TV starts now.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Welcome to the first round of Grand National Cross Country for this 2022 season. This is the VP Racing Fuels Big Buck GNCC, presented by Specialized here at the Big Buck Farm in Union, South Carolina. I'm Mikey Waynes, and I will be taking you through today's racing action. And of course, the season begins, like the last several seasons, Walker Fowler, the defending champion, looking to make it 8 in a row. And closing in on Chris Borch's all-time ATV wins record this season as well. Can he make that happen? Big names, Hunter Hart, as you just saw, Jared McClure coming in the 2 and the 3 number plates. A huge statement. Cole Richardson coming off a decent season, finishing 4th in points. And rounding out that top 5 is the old wily veteran himself, the Gator, Adam McGill, who's never short on entertainment. Josh Merritt coming off his best season as an XC1 Pro, coming in at number 6. And then you got the young guns. How about it? Devin Feehan and John Glada Jr. entering this season. Is this the year they make the leap? They start contending for podiums. And there is your all-time wins leader, Chris Borch. And, of course, Bryson Neal. So many questions about him heading into this season. We had a chance to catch up with him.
I feel good, man. I really do. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. So, it's been a long road to get back to this point, but we're pumped. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. From way here, the track's just perfect. So, yep, everything feels good. So, let's go have a good day.
And here we go, jockeying for position, battling for that all-balls hole shot here in the XC1. Who's going to get it? It's going to be the number 1 of Walker Fowler. McClure right there with him. Good battle for the number 2. Ooh, thought our riders are coming together right there, but it's Walker out in front. Looks like McClure might have edged out for the number 2 spot, at least for the moment. Yep, that's going to be McClure in that number 2 position, and it's, well, I was going to say single file. Not quite. We're trying to get bottled up early. Everybody's hungry. It's round number 1. We're off and rolling with the XC1, and we return to the starting line. The B&R Motorsports Hole Shot Award up for grabs here in the XC2. How about the shot from the Yamaha Racing Skycam? A little checkup from the neck up from Tanner Walker, and he grabs the hole shot and early lead in this one. Of course, Ronnie Rush, winning the championship in the XC2 last season, moves up into the XC1 for his rookie year in the pro class. But we got some big names in the XC2. Of course, Jay Shadron, what a statement season last year. I think a number 13 as far as the national points are concerned. So that's a big deal for a guy in the XC2 class. Of course, Tanner Walker, who grabbed your whole shot there. A lot of big names in the XC2. Back to the XC1 and your top 5 right there. He saw on screen Fowler, McClure, Richardson, Glada, and Adam McGill leading the top 5. How long will it take for Bryson Neal to get acclimated? Is it going to be a few rounds before we see him up there contending for podiums and maybe wins? Walker Fowler in the lead right here, and there is McClure in that number 2 spot. So will it take Bryson Neal a race or two, or will he jump right in? He has won here on this property both races last year, the Big Buck and the Tiger Run GNCC. Those wins were Bryson Neal's. Does he not waste any time? Does he get in there and fight for a win today? Or will we see Walker Fowler stay out front and grab the first win? Stick around, more GNCC after this.
Coverage of the Grand National Cross Country Championship on MAV TV is brought to you in part by Specialized E-Turbo Bikes. It's you, only faster. And by RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Well, GNCC is more than just the pros. Earlier today, the youth ATVs took to the Big Buck property for their first race of the season. Everybody poised and ready, and my good buddy, they call him Big Sexy, does the pit crew for Caitlin Osborne and Jared McClure right there. How about it? The Intimidator, taking pictures with the fans and the riders. Who's the fan? And who's the rider there? Who was the fan in that situation? That's the question. Ricky Towery with the waving of the green flag. And our youth ATVs, keep your eyes on the right-hand side of the screen. Bang! Taking the whole shot out of nowhere, coming in like a freight train. That was Jesse Stiles grabbing that whole shot in early lead. But boy, when the checkered flag flew, it was my fellow Hoosier, Caden Spires, grabbing the first win of the year.
I didn't have the best start. I kind of got hit on the first corner, and I was like fourth going into the woods, made my way to the lead, and then just tried to push myself the whole race from there.
Well, congratulations again to Caden Spires on the win. Wyatt Kerfman in second, and Jesse Stiles with that gnarly hole shot ended up third on the day. And when we get back to the pros, you take a look at your past winners. Bryson Neal in 2021, and then you got to go back 20, 19, 18, 17, all Walker Fowler. So can Walker Fowler return to his old opening round winning ways, or will Bryson Neal try to make it two in a row here today? Fowler out in front. We're at the FMF PowerPoint right now. McClure in that number 2 spot. And up the FMF PowerPoint they go, making it look easy. I mean, it looks gnarly enough on screen if you look at the fans down there at the FMF PowerPoint. But, man, it doesn't quite do it justice to these guys sending it up the FMF PowerPoint. Good stuff to watch. Walker Fowler out in front. McClure in the number 2 spot. And some good battles early in this one. A little bit of a different line choice there for McClure. Doesn't quite pay off, but he's right there with him. And good battles. Things still very tight. There goes Adam McGill, John Glotta right there in this one. Cole Richardson. There's Chris Borich. So moving right along here into the Monster Mile we go. Walker Fowler, a small checkup from the neck up. Who's there? It's Jared McClure. As McClure giving him everything he wants and more right now. Looking like a freight train. Top 3, very tight. Call it top 4, top 5. Still very tight early in this one. And it seems like every XC1 rider right there with him. So again, Fowler out in front. McClure in the number 2 spot. We'll see what McClure's got for him here. Let's see who's in third right here. That's going to be Coltrane, Cole Richardson, Glotta 4th, and McGill in 5th right there. So still knocking on the door, working his way up the pack right now is Bryson Neal. Of course, the big question, can Bryson? He admittedly said, hey, I've not really had much seat time. Don't think he got seat time until December. So we'll see. Is it going to take him a few races again to get acclimated to this? Or will he be right there fighting and battling for podiums and maybe even wins with these guys early on? Obviously, a lot of big conversation around Bryson Neal as we headed into this season. Here's Hunter Hart trying to make things work toward the back of the pack right there. So Fowler out front, McClure in second, Coltrane doing his thing, John Glotta, and there is Bryson Neal. So Neal now up into the top 5. Looking good. The 241 Magna 1 Motorsports Yamaha Bryson Neal. Seems to be a good fit for him this year. There was Fowler and McClure. And how about a Bryson Neal now in the number 3 spot? So Bryson Neal moves into third. Fowler out front, leading the way. Cannot shake McClure. You got a small gap back to Neal, but for how long? I think there's the answer to our question. Is he going to compete for podiums here in round 1? Yes, he is. No doubt about it. So a small gap back to 4th. That is Devin Feehan, the number 7. Feehan having some success late last season. Matter of fact, was a podium contender. McGill on screen right there, but a podium contender pretty much after the summer break, those last few rounds of GNCC, Feehan was on the map. No fluke. He comes out here opening this season right there battling with your leaders. So there goes Fowler. There goes McClure. There goes Bryson Neal. And now Neal starting to reel him in, has him in his sights. And how much longer before Devin Feehan is right up there with those three guys. And we got ourselves a four-way battle for the lead right now. We're going to call it a three-way battle for the lead. Anything can happen in this one. I believe that is Cole Richardson or John Glotta. So how about that? There's McGill, and there is Coltrane, Cole Richardson right there. So it's Glotta out front, leading McGill and Richardson right now in the middle of the pack. Fowler, your leader, out front. Coming off, again, another championship season, and here we go. Call it a four-way battle. Feehan throws his name in the hat. He's right there on the rear wheel of Bryson Neal. Fowler not able to pull away from this one. This track is rough. Make no mistake, welcome to the 2022 season of GNCC. Fowler trying to do work out there out front, trying to shake these guys, not quite able to make it happen. Glotta with a small gap. That is the Coltrane, Cole Richardson. Is this going to be McGill? Yes. So McGill right there, and McGill's got some company. That's one of our amateur riders. Into the pits now we go. This is going to be interesting. So it's Fowler into the pits first. There is McClure getting refilled by the Intimidator himself. So Fowler gets out right before McClure. And there goes, if you saw at the left of your screen, Neal got out there, looked like in the number 3 spot. Is it going to stay the same? Yes, that is Neal in third, and there is Feehan in the number 4 spot. So our top 4 remain the same after a pit stop. Oh, and how about this? A new leader. New leader. It is Jared McClure leading the way out in front of Fowler. Fowler still in second. Neal and Feehan in third and fourth. So things shaking up a little bit. Let's see what McClure can do with some open track in front of him. Can he shake these guys? Will Walker Fowler say absolutely not? I'm going to come get it back. Richardson, I believe, now leading John Glotta. So Richardson in front of Glotta. They seem to have shaken Adam McGill, at least for the moment. No signs of the Gator yet, so small gap back there. But how about it? There goes Jared McClure out in front. Fowler in the number 2 spot. Neal in third. And Devin Feehan in fourth. So, hey, a couple big questions coming into the year. You knew McClure. He's consistent. You knew he's going to be there battling with these guys. But the question was, can Neal come out and compete immediately? He says, yes, I can. The other big question, is Devin Feehan the real deal this year? Yes, he is. I would say absolutely. There is McGill on screen. I would say Feehan doing all the right things, and my hat's off to Glotta as well. Some early success in this one. Hey, they're not fighting for wins just yet, but I got to think that's on the horizon. First, get those podiums. See what it's like to keep pace with these guys. That's what Devin's out there doing right now. And that's got to be a confidence builder if you're Devin Feehan. No doubt about it. Glotta, solid ride out of him today as well. So we'll keep it. It's going to be an interesting season with those young guns. Is it a changing of the guard this year? So McClure out front, still leading the way. Fowler in the number 2 spot. Bryson Neal still in third, and Devin Feehan back in fourth. Those guys putting a little bit, they got that gap is pretty consistent right now between 4th place and 5th. That battle for 5th, though, just as heated as what we're seeing out in front. McClure now leading the way. I told you, Big Buck GNCC is rough and as rowdy as you want. Your top 4 absolutely wheel to wheel through this tight section of the woods right here. Camera's got time to pan back. We got one of our lapped riders coming through right there. And this should be the battle with Glotta and Coltrane. Coltrane now out in front of John Glotta. So these guys going back and forth here in this one. We'll see. Didn't get our eyes on the Gator back there. We'll see if we can get that in a second. And here we go. Fowler now back out in front. Fowler with a small gap on Jared McClure. 3rd place, still Bryson Neal lurking, waiting, looking for that opportunity. And Bryson Neal, he's got the pencil out, the notepad, and he's taking notes from Bryson Neal right now. Let's see those lines. Let's see how you're competing early last season. Walker Fowler on screen, the defending champ, leading the way. Now back out in front. Regained the lead from McClure. And how about it? Bryson Neal in the number 2 spot. We got ourselves a gap. It's a two-way battle out front. McClure falls to 3rd. And there is Devin Feehan in the number 4 spot. So tough break for Jared McClure. Still right there in contention, but goes from the lead to 3rd just like that. And folks, this is what everybody came to see. Mano a mano, Walker Fowler versus Bryson Neal. So much talk about this in the offseason. And here you go, on screen on MAV TV right now, it's happening. Still a battle. Well, look at this. What we saw out front with the top 4, now we see that from 3rd back to 6th. Up for grabs. Boy, that is anybody's race at this point. Walker Fowler, your leader. Bryson Neal in the number 2 spot. Mano a mano battle here at the Big Buck GNCC. We'll be right back.
Coverage of the Grand National Cross Country Championship on MAV TV is brought to you in part by Specialized E-Turbo Bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com. Get ready.
Welcome back to GNCC here on MAV TV. And of course, we return with the most heated battles at the track, the Stasig race. Okay, the race is just for fun, but nonetheless, these little rippers probably have more fun than anyone else at the track. Look at them, all smiles, ready and rolling. Some last-minute bike adjustments, and there's Rookie Towery with the waving of the green flag, and off and rolling is the future of GNCC. That was Jacoby Duvall out front leading the way. Well, I think he was leading the way. We know this. He was having a blast out there. The kid takes it serious. I can promise you that. It is the who's who of the future of racing. How about that guy? Getting some advice from his dad, Thad Duvall. A little jersey. I mean, that's as cool as it gets, right? This right here, this is what GNCC racing is all about. Gotta love that. Kids had a lot of fun all around. Always cool to have the Stasig race on Saturday evenings at the track. It's fun. It might be more fun for the adults watching than anything else. Well, hey, we got a new leader out on the track. It is Bryson Neal leading Walker Fowler for the win. Are you kidding me? Let's see if Bryson can hang on to this. And these two guys trying to check out from the rest of the pack, and I think it's safe to say they have. Jared McClure trying to hold off Devin Feehan and John Glotta. Feehan there in the number 4 spot, and a little gap back to John Glotta. We talked early when this race started about the success those guys had late. Stay tuned for more this season, no doubt about it. And here we go, Bryson Neal, one more turn. Oh, he makes it happen. Walker Fowler took one small shot right there to the inside, unable to make it stick, and Bryson Neal hangs on for the win. Your back-to-back Big Buck GNCC winner. Won the opening round here in 2021, wins the opening round here in 2022. Gotta feel good about this. Thinking back about last season, the injury, he was out for the majority of the year. Everybody talked about the battle these two on screen would have last year. Is this the year we finally get that?
It's been 8.5 months since I raced, and I knew I was in great shape, but I was just, the immensity of all this build-up and all this work to get back to this point. I never even got to race with any of my competitors or ride. I didn't know what my speed was like, and I found out about end of the first lap. I was like, man, I feel good. We're running a good pace. There's a little mistake that happened, and Jared and Walker got some distance on us. I was able to bridge the gap, and when I bridged the gap and I was able to track them down, I was like, all right, we're in this for the long haul, because the track today was super tough to pass, super tough to pass, and I knew that if we could get with them, then my fitness, I could hang on all the way to the end. And Jared, I passed Jared on a hill climb out there, a lapper, got in front of him, I got in the second, and then Walker, we took a split line, and he heard me coming, and he just checked up just enough for me to squeak by right before the FMF or the Racer TV last cameras in the chicane. So My gosh, Mikey, I feel like I'm talking a lot, man. I'm so pumped, but thank you guys. Thank everyone so much, and we're so glad to get this done.
Well, again, a big congratulations to Bryson Neal. Fowler finishing up in the number 2 spot, and we had a chance to catch up with Walker Fowler after today's race as well.
There was a couple of these fields out at the end, and then, man, I don't know why, but I thought I had a line right before coming into the last group of fields, and I didn't. And I lost about 4 seconds, and then a lap rider kind of slowed Bryson up. I was able to get a couple quad lengths behind him, and he went wide in that last corner, and I wish I just could have been a little bit closer, because there'd have been some Supercross maybe coming in. But all in all, it was fun, good, clean race, and Jared McClure had an awesome race. I think it was Devin Feehan back there pushing the group, too. And like I said, Bryson rode awesome. It was fun. We had a really good time.
Well, again, Bryson Neal finishing in first place, Fowler in the number 2 spot, and Jared McClure, a solid day for him as well. We caught up with him after the race.
Definitely felt like I had the speed to win this one. I was up front there with Walker all day, and he set a good pace. First lap, it seemed like he was a little off, but I think he was just feeling out the track, new year. Man, second lap, he turned it on, and I was like, oh, man, there's the Walker I know. And, you know, he pulled a little bit on me on the first few miles of the track, and, you know, it was just a faster pace, and like he just was like pulling a little bit on me. But I put my head down, and like if I could get back up to him, and I did getting into the pines here, and it seemed like I had a little bit more on this side of the track. Whether I was just using a little bit different lines, but I could kind of reel him back in. But then I think he was having rear brake issues or something it looked like, and I'm like, man, now's my shot. So I just blitzed the line, got by him, and man, I was feeling good. You know, the Elka Shocks, Impact Solutions, GBC tires were working awesome. Can't say enough about the bike this year. The quad's working good. But man, that last lap got a little wild on the hill climb out there, and I just shuffled back to third and was still feeling good, like not tired, but something happened with my clutch, man. I lost the clutch, and I know I was holding everybody up there at the end, but I was like, man, last lap, I'm just holding my lines for this podium. If it was the beginning of the race, I would have let some guys by probably, but not in that last lap.
Well, as we take a look at the Specialized race recap. Round number 1, 2022 underway, and grabbing the early lead in the whole shot is the defending champ, Walker Fowler. Jared McClure would work up into the number 2 spot, and we would see quite the battle early on in this one. Eventually would basically become a 4-man race out front, with McClure in second, Neal in third, and Devin Feehan back in the number 4 spot. And as the race wore on, we saw Jared McClure getting out in front of Walker Fowler. He got to enjoy leading this one for a little bit, but eventually Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal would both get around Jared McClure. McClure would fall into the number 3 spot. Still a solid day for him. But as we got down to the nitty-gritty, it was Fowler and Neal battling. Eventually, Bryson Neal, who loves this track, won both rounds here in 2021. The Big Buck as well as Tiger Run on this property would come out here and get a win to open the season. Safe to say that Bryson Neal is ready to race. All those questions we had, is he ready? Can he contend this early? The answer is yes. Comes away with the big win here in 2022 to start the season at the Big Buck GNCC. A huge congratulations to him, and boy, buckle up, folks. This is going to be a season for the ages. Well, that's going to do it for us here at GNCC. Thanks for watching. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.